Good morning, dear students. So far we have completed 5 chapters in science, isn't it? So today we are moving on to the next chapter, that is changes around us. This is the 6th chapter in science. Changes around us. What are the changes that you can see around us? There are loads of changes that we can see in our daily lives, isn't it? For example, in the case of changes of weather, cooking of food, then blooming of flowers, formation of clouds, all these are the changes that occur during our everyday life, isn't it? How these changes can be occur? Everything in the universe will undergo a change, okay, and this change will occur either in their size, shape, color, or their internal structure or something like that. So all these changes will be in accordance with their certain qualities. So in the universe there are lots of changes will occur. So all these changes are categorized into natural changes and human made changes. Natural changes and human made changes. So can you tell what is a natural change? Natural change is the change which occur naturally. For example, the blooming of flowers. Does it occur naturally? Yes, it will occur naturally. And the changes in the weather and the occurrence of day and night, the formation of cloud, these all are the natural changes which occur naturally in our surroundings. And what is human made changes? Yes, human made changes are the changes which occur by the activity of human beings or by the involvement of human beings. So what are the changes will occur by the activity of human beings? Cooking of food, burning of the oil, then production of grains, dissolving the sugar in water, and all these changes are taking place by the activity of human beings. Such kind of changes are called as human made changes. Okay, so we can see what are natural changes and human made changes with the help of some pictures. Okay.
The example for natural changes are formation of clouds, then the formation of glaciers. Glaciers are huge mass of ice that moves slowly over land. The formation of flowers and the ripening of fruits. All these changes occurs naturally. Some changes occur due to human efforts are called human made changes. And the cooking of food, then weaving of clothes are example for human made changes. And there are lots of other examples too.
So there are large number of changes that is occurring continuously in our surrounding, isn't it? So all these changes are mainly categorized into two. Okay. First one is reversible changes and the second one is irreversible changes. Reversible changes and irreversible changes. change that can be reversed easily by reversing the conditions to obtain a substance in its original form. That process is called as reversible change. So I will explain it in detail with the help of an activity so you can easily understand the concept. Okay.
To conduct this activity, we need a spring, a hook for support, and a weight. First, take a spring and suspend it from a support and measure the length of the spring as shown in the first figure. Then hang a weight to the lower end of the spring and again measure the length of the spring as shown in the second figure. Then remove the weight and measure the length of the spring again. So we can observe that when we suspend a weight on the spring, the length of the spring increases. So a change takes place for that. And when we remove the weight from the spring comes back to its original length. So we can conclude that the stretching of the spring is a reversible change.
What is the reversible change? A change that can be reversed easily by reversing the conditions to obtain the substance in its original form is called as reversible changes. So we see the activity of spring. Similarly, when we heat an ice piece, it melts to form water. And when we cool this water again, we can get the ice. Isn't it? So this process is a reversible process. Okay. I will explain. Reversible change. So how these changes occur during the reversible condition? That is, when we heat an ice, we obtain water, isn't it? And when we cool this water, it will transform into an ice. So this is a reversible changes. So the ice is a solid which is on heating will give rise to a liquid, and when this liquid, that is water, is getting cooled, it will give rise to an ice again, isn't it? So this process is a reversible process. Is it clear? And there is another example. Water can be changed into steam or vapor, isn't it? We studied about evaporation. Did you remember that? Yes. By evaporation, water is getting into steam by heating. And by cooling of the steam, we obtain what? Water. So water is a liquid and steam or vapor is a gaseous form. So this is another example for the reversible change. What is that? Water can be transformed into steam by heating, isn't it? Did you remember about evaporation? Yes. So, and this steam can be transformed into water by cooling. What is the process is called? Yes, condensation. By condensation, steam can be reversed into its liquid form by cooling. So this is also an example for a reversible change. Is it clear? So an ice transformed into water and water can be cooled into ice. This is the first example, and the second example is that water can be transformed into steam by heating, and by cooling the steam we can obtain the liquid water. Is it clear? Yes. And you can see some more example for this reversible change. Let's see.
The more examples for reversible changes are glowing electric bulb and stretching of rubber band. We can revert back to the original state of these objects.
So did you clear about reversible change? And next we are moving on to what is irreversible change. Just opposite to this reversible change. Irreversible change. Let's see what is an irreversible change. This irreversible change is just opposite to the reversible change. The change that cannot be reversed even by changing the condition to obtain the substance in its original state. Okay, so we cannot reverse the process and even by changing the condition, even if we can change the condition, but if the process could not be reversed. That kind of process is called as irreversible change, and it is just opposite to reversible change. And we can see what are the things, what are the examples and under this irreversible changes. So you can easily understand this one.
Burning of paper is an example for irreversible change. When we burn a paper, we could not revert back to its original state. And burning of wood is also an example for irreversible change. Grinding of wheat grains into wheat flour and burning of crackers is also an example for irreversible change.
Burning of paper, wood, then rusting of iron and weathering of rocks, then grinding of wheat into wheat flour. These are the example for irreversible change. When we burn the paper into ash, shall we convert this ash to paper again? No, we can't do that. And also when we burn a wood, if we can reverse the ashes into wood again, no, it can't be do that. And also when we grind the wheat grains into wheat flour, can we convert back to its the flour into its grain? No, we can't reverse the process. So that kind of process are called as irreversible processes, or the change is irreversible change. And the formation of curd from milk is also an irreversible change. So we can conduct an activity to study the conversion of milk into curd. What are the changes occurring due to that? Okay, so that is an example for irreversible change. Also just have a look into that process.
To study the formation of curd from warm milk, take warm milk in a container and add a spoonful of curd in the warm milk and stir it thoroughly. Cover the container and leave it undisturbed for 4 to 5 hours. We notice that after 4 to 5 hours, the milk in the container changes into curd. It is semi-solid. It has sour taste and that is different from milk. We can convert milk into curd and we cannot convert curd into milk. So the formation of curd from milk is irreversible change.
So these are the main irreversible changes occur in our daily life. That is burning of paper and wood, then rusting of iron, then conversion of wheat grains into wheat flour, then burning of crackers, aging of living beings, then grinding of something. So all these can cannot be reversed back to its original form. Can we convert back into our childhood, that is baby age? No, all those are irreversible changes, isn't it? So that kind of changes are called irreversible changes. And there is a table in your textbook, table 6.1, reversible and irreversible changes. There are given many changes like raw egg into boiled egg, but batter into idli, then wet cloth into dried cloth. So like that many changes are given in your textbook, and you have to find that whether these processes can be reversed or not. So you can write it here. Is it yes or no? Can be reversed or no? So you have to complete the table 6.1 in your textbook, and there is also a multiple choice question in your textbook. Two questions are there. Which of the following is or are natural changes? So there are given four choices, and you have to select the right choice. And the second one is melting of ice is a dash change. So you have to find the correct answer and write it in your notebook. Okay. So these are the two activities for you. And I think you understood the topic, isn't it? So the rest will be taken in our next class. Thank you.